Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! Episode 93. So tonight we're reviewing, I'm reviewing Solo, a Star Wars story. So Avaryl refused to see this movie.
I can't do it.
But insisted that I go.
I did not insist.
And report back. You were pretty strongly opinionated about it.
I said, if you want to go watch it, I'll ask you questions in the review.
So, not gonna lie, didn't hate this movie. It was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. And maybe I had low expectations, because I did. I kept seeing the trailers and just being like, this looks awful. Like, this looks like a mess. Like, I don't want to watch this movie.
Well, and there was all the production woes of the two guys that did the Lego movies.
Yeah.
Had directed, or were going to direct it, and had directed a certain percentage of it.
Right.
Creative differences, they left. The whole rumor / maybe true thing about young Han Solo guy not being able to act. So they had to bring on a coach. The whole, let's bring in Ron Howard. He can save anything, right? He'll make anything that's bland enough for America to like. Yeah, it'll be great. Just bring him in. He won't make anything controversial. It'll be great. So anyway, yeah. I feel like I need more of a story to why I can't watch this movie. So I love Han Solo. I think other than like Kermit the Frog, first crush.
Not sure what that means.
First crush. I was like, Kermit, oh, I love it when I was little.
Sure.
I love Kermit the Frog.
She drives me crazy. Oh.
And then I was like, oh, who is this man in these leather pants?
Mm-hmm.
It's Harrison Ford. And that's where the journey began.
Yeah.
For me and Harrison.
Love it.
And I've loved him ever since. And Force Awakens really ruined me.
Yes.
For a while. And I was upset about it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm good. I can't do it. I don't care. Maybe I'll just go rewatch the original 3 and have a great time. Because no one's Harrison Ford. Like, no one is Harrison Ford.
And I can say
that
obviously still stands. This is not Harrison Ford.
Right. It's also not hot guy from Age of Adeline.
Thank you.
Because, like, what the fuck?
Okay. Yes.
You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's the ship that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
And so here's where I get conflicted about how I feel about this movie. Because for the first act, I was like, ugh, this is tedious. And I was just like, ugh, he's trying so hard to, like, be like
Han Solo?
Like Han Solo? I mean, that sounds weird, but you know, it's like, he's, like, doing his best Harrison Ford, and it's, like, not good.
All I gotta do is give him the signal, you're surrounded.
And all I'm thinking is that you're not Harrison Ford. And what's weirder about it is that it's, like, not that big of a time difference before when we are introduced to Harrison Ford as Han Solo.
It's not like it's him as a teenager.
Exactly.
Right. So what's the gap? When does it like end where New Hope supposedly begins? Okay.
Well, it ends with him getting the Millennium Falcon.
Sure.
And saying to Chewbacca, like, oh, well, he mentioned Tatooine. There's, like, a big mob boss. And that was the kind of stuff that annoyed me the most. Where it's like...
It's like talking about the Kessel Run and shit.
Oh, in 12 parsecs. Which is kind of fun, though. See, that's actually kind of stuff that I didn't mind.
But it was like, obviously, they were going to grasp at every little thing that fans had... Like, did Greedo show up?
No.
Did he shoot first? Was that like...
No. Well, he does Han shoots first. In a separate, like, new scene where he kills Woody Harrelson.
What?
Because Woody Harrelson's, like, about to pull For real? He's, like, gonna pull his gun out. He's like, I'm gonna teach you one last lesson, Han. And he's like, boom, killed, you're dead.
What?
And you're like, Han!
Were they friends? Okay.
Woody Harrelson had betrayed him, like, multiple times at this point. And was, like, clearly gonna kill him. So it was like, well, I'm just not an idiot. You know, it was, like, that kind of shooting. But so, okay. Going back.
Right.
So it starts off.
Oh, because what's the guy's name? I can never... It's...
Oh, I have no idea. The actor?
Alden Eldridge? I always mix him up with other guy from Baby Driver.
Oh, Elgort. Ansel Elgort.
Ansel Elgort. What's with these names? Great. So it starts.
It starts, and young Han is in some washed out land. I mean, the whole movie is like real Clint Eastwood filter.
I heard it was real just gross to look at. Like, it was just, like, gray and dark. And, like, who's that? What's happening? And I was like, why?
I hate this choice. I blame Clint Eastwood and Christopher Nolan, to be honest.
But Christopher Nolan knows when to put in a pop of color.
Well, sure.
Or a hot blonde man with blue eyes.
Yeah. This was like darkest hour grays. Ugh, where you're just
weird,
like, why is this so desaturated?
Because, like, Ron Howard usually makes, like, cheery looking movies.
So, I mean, they clearly wanted it to seem bleak, right? This gray, hazy planet. But then it's like, okay, but we've moved on from here and it still looks like shit.
Trying to cover up the acting.
Right. Just gloss over it with a white haze.
I think he's emoting. I think. I'm not sure.
So you saw the movie.
Oh, great!
The first act, we meet him and he's like in love with Emilia Clarke.
Oh, eyebrows?
Not as much eyebrow acting. They toned it down for this.
They pluck them?
Maybe. Well, yeah, they were thinner and they just weren't as nearly as emotive.
Okay, great.
Well, first things first. Shout out to our wine sponsor, Triving.com/MovieBitches. You get $20 off your first month of wine. Second thing second, spoiler alert.
Oh, sure. Does anybody care?
I don't think so, but just in case you do, spoilers.
Well, should anybody see this movie, really?
I didn't hate it.
Did you like it?
I had a fun time, I'm not gonna lie.
Even though the first...
I liked it better than The Last Jedi.
Well, I mean, that movie's a disaster.
It was a disaster. I did not like it as much as Rogue One.
I like the idea of, and this is what I've been asking for, so it's hypocritical that I won't see this movie. I like the idea of, it's just a side story. It doesn't have to do with the main plot.
And that's where I was getting, is that...
But they lost me at Han Solo.
Well, and that is the dichotomy of this movie. Like, why wouldn't this just be the Lando story?
Hey, here for it.
You know, and like maybe they cast someone to show up as Han Solo and he's only in it a little bit, so it's not as angry.
You did ask me earlier a question. And I said, I'll answer it on camera.
Okay, so we're not there yet. Okay. We'll talk about it more later.
Okay. Oh, I did read, you know who was possibly up for the Lando part?
No.
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, I would have liked that.
Yeah.
I would have liked that. I thought Donald Glover was great. Going back, the first act, the problem is that, one, he's bad at acting.
Great.
And there's just like this confusing plot line of they're trying to escape from someone, but we don't really know her. And this stupid alien that comes out of the sea, and then he like shrivels
like
her with the sunlight like a vampire.
What? Wait, what? He sucked her dry?
A little bit. So.
What do you mean?
Okay, so like the whole premise of the movie is that everyone is trying to get money by stealing or trading the hyperdrive fuel, which is like this natural resource that...
MacGuffin.
And it's in like a tiny little crystal thing, but then if you get a whole bunch of them...
So you can put it in your little pocket.
But they explode if you have a huge... You know, they're very explosive.
Okay.
So he finds one at the very beginning of the movie, and like he and Emilia Clarke are going to be like, "This is our ticket out of here. We can use this to like escape." But the boss lady who is maintaining all of them is like, "You lost all of my stuff, and now I'm going to have to kill you." And he's like, "But I have a bomb in my hand," and she's like, "That's not a bomb."
Wait, isn't this the plot of Guardians 2? Like the gold people, and we stole your batteries, and
a little bit.
I have a bomb. And I'm gonna steal them?
But was it a fake bomb?
Yeah.
And did he go, and she goes, "That's not a bomb, that's a rock, and you just made a click noise with your mouth." And I'm like, this is really bad.
That sounds like...
Horrible writing. Horrible writing.
Wait, was it just a...
It was literally just a rock. And he just goes, and she then calls it out. And I'm like, on one hand, I like that the movie called it out, and on the other hand, this is horribly cheesy. But so he's like, "No, it's a bomb, see?" And he throws it at this window. And then the window breaks and light comes through.
So she's like, "Oh!
Oh God, the sun! Shrivel like a vampire. Ah, I'm smoking. I have to retreat into the water."
Okay.
And then they're like, "Quick, run away." I didn't make it up.
That sounds terrible.
It was really bad. I was like, "Oh God, this movie's gonna be awful."
Okay, great. So they've escaped.
Yep.
They're
they
together.
finally have this long chasing.
Have they known each other forever?
They're in love. We've established that they like grew up in the slums together.
They're both
slaves.
orphans.
They're orphan, whatever, and they are in love and they kiss and it's great.
Chase.
Yeah, long chasing. tedious long chase scene. They get to this thing, they bribe the woman with the sparkly stardust, and then they're like going through the gate. He gets through, but she gets grabbed by the people that were chasing after him.
Oh, no.
The gate closes and he's like, no, Amelia! I mean, her name is like whatever, but you know, and so she's like, no! And he's
So they
like,
asked him to have like a real emotional moment early in the film.
and yet it was fine. This was fine.
Okay.
This part was fine because he wasn't trying to be, I'm Han Solo.
I like your Han Solo.
The rest of the movie, I forgot that he was Han Solo.
He was someone else.
He was just kind of like a different person
Some
to me.
other swashbuckling
It was like,
space pirate.
you know, it was a different movie, and I was much happier with it.
I wonder what percentage, like, because apparently Ron Howard, like, reshot 80% of the movie.
Right.
So I wonder what 20% was.
Well, if it was the beginning, then they made the right choice.
So this is what, a half an hour in?
Probably.
Jesus Christ.
Because it's 2 hours and 15 minutes long.
Ugh.
He's trying to figure out a way to get back to this horrible planet to
He's
save
gotta
her.
save her.
Exactly.
Yeah. No wonder he's got such a chilly, cold heart in later movies.
Oh, we'll get to it.
Oh, it's all making sense.
Cut to 3 years later, he's just been like on the front lines in World War One.
He's a brown coat.
He's like in the trenches, in the mud.
Are they wearing like wool?
Also, this was all confusing because the timeline for me is confusing of like where the prequels end.
Conceivably, since the prequels end with Luke and Leia being born as babies,
Right.
Han isn't much older than them, so he's
Right.
probably like a child or...
Sure, so this is probably 20 years after that.
Sure.
And yet, at that point, there was kind of already a bigger empire forming, I felt like.
In the prequels.
In the prequels.
And
whereas
now
this is like the forming of the empire. It's like, oh, join the empire today, be a part of a bigger thing. And it's like, but like, it seems nascent.
Okay.
It was like Hitler Youth.
Right.
Not like, we're already the Nazis,
Yeah.
you know? So that was confusing. So then later on, we're introduced to the Red Order, Crimson Wave, Crimson something.
The New Order?
No, well, so that's what I got really confusing because it's like in your head you're trying to figure out where does this fit into everything, and it's like now I'm confused because there's like the New Order now, which is all red and black, and then there's like the Empire, and then now there's this mythic Crimson people. It was confusing.
Yeah.
But whatever.
You mean they might have run out of plot ideas for Star Wars movies? They might be recycling plots?
A little bit.
In a Star Wars movie?
Crazy. Oh, so when he enlists,
Yeah.
he's like, my name's Han. He's like, Han what? He's like, who are your people? And he's like, I don't have any people. I'm just alone. And so the guy goes,
No. No.
Han Solo.
No.
And you're like, fuck you, movie.
No. No, I reject this. This is not canon.
Exactly.
Why I didn't see this movie?
So, on the battlefield of World War I,
Uh-huh.
he runs into Woody Harrelson.
Ah.
Turns out, Woody Harrelson isn't actually a captain. He's a, like, mercenary, thief dude.
Did he like stole a uniform or something?
Yes.
I just couldn't help but notice you're wearing a uniform pock full of laser burns, so either you healed real quick or you stole it off a dead man.
And he's like, oh, well, aren't you just smart? And then he like...
Aren't you just...
Exactly. So then he turns him in.
Great Woody Harrelson.
Thank you. Hey, Lieutenant, I found this kid and he's a deserter. And they're like, what? Send him to the...
How can he be a deserter if he's hanging out with them?
You know what? It was very quick. It's happening.
He's like there with them.
No, well, but he was like,
He didn't desert.
I captured...
This sounds terrible.
This is where it's all still bad.
This sounds like...
Yep. So then they're like, feed him to the monster. So they like throw him in this cage and he's like attached to a chain. Basically. But then out
it's
comes
like Jedi?
this woolly creature.
So it's like Jedi. So he comes out of the shadows. He goes, "Whoa."
Yep.
I can't do it. And then Han goes, oh no, I'm scared. Oh, let's be friends.
Basically. He's like beating him up. And then he's like, wait. And then finally he just goes like, and they have like subtitles that says like, I can speak a little Wookiee. Blah, blah, blah. Don't kill me.
speaks
We can
Wookiee?
get out of this.
Han speaks Wookiee?
This is just the plot. I'm just the messenger. So they figure out how to, like, break out by, like, hitting the pole, whatever. They break out, they chase after the ship that Woody Harrelson has stolen.
Hitting the pole.
That's literally what there's, like, a pole that's holding up the support in this cage, and then there's, like, the 2 stormtrooper whatever guys on top, and then they fall into the pit.
This is a Laurel and Hardy movie?
Thank you. So they chase after the ship, they're, like, tied together, whatever.
Yeah.
And then...
Oh, so it's like the Defiant ones? They're, like, handcuffed?
Yes, yes.
One's black and one's white.
Yeah.
One's white and one's a Wookiee. Are they gonna get their differences together and learn how to work as a team?
Yes.
Have a lifelong friendship?
Yes. Then Woody Harrelson and his group are like, nah, fuck them, let's get out of here. And then there's, like, this multi-armed guy that's name is...
General Grievous?
No, Greedo?
Greedo?
Not Greedo, but like Greelo or something similar. I don't know. It doesn't matter because he dies. Spoiler alert.
You're a bit late for that. Hate when he does that.
And he's like, I don't know. Have you ever cuddled up against a Wookiee? It's the best. We should let them on. They're great. Let's take them.
Who says this?
The multi-armed guy. It's stupid.
Before he dies.
Yeah, yes. So he hasn't died yet.
He's like, you know what? Wookiees make the best pillows.
Yeah.
Body pillow.
Yeah.
Bring him on.
Yeah.
Now, not mad at the idea of a Wookiee body pillow. That probably exists.
So they were like, fine. They go down and they let them back on. They shower and whatever. And
They shower?
yes, because they were all covered in mud from the
Does he look
monster
hot?
pen.
Is he all like ripped?
No, they didn't show too much of him, which was a little annoying. And then like they have the stupid scene where then Chewie gets in with him in the shower, and he's like, "We couldn't have done this one at a time." I'm like, okay.
Interspecies gay panic. That made it into the final cut of this movie.
Yep.
Great. I don't like this. I don't care for it. If they had had Age of Adeline guy, he would have been shirtless, taking a hot shower.
Yeah, just like.
Just
that mud.
getting this
dripping
mud
down
off.
his body. Oh my god.
And then Chewie would have come in and he would have been like, "Hey, here's your towel." Like he would have been cool with it. Because he's progressive.
So then they have like this weird campfire scene where they all get to know each other. So Woody Harrelson and this like woman are together.
Yeah.
And then there's the multi-armed guy. They are all like, oh, we have this big heist that we're planning. So in their fireside, pre-planned chat.
Is FDR there?
No. She's like, what about so-and-so? Like, how do we know they're not going to show up? And he's like, I was told that we're the only ones who know where this is. He's not going to know anything about it. So, foreshadowing. Ooh, subtle.
You mean this other ragtag group of pirates might show up? No, surely not. Oh, they did.
Oh, they did. We get to this planet where it turns out there's like these cool like monorail-y like storage containers that like slide along. And they're going to steal one of them.
So it's the train job. This is sounding a lot like Firefly.
I think it's going to be a lot like a lot of different movies all combined in one. It's not particularly original, but it was kind of fun.
Sure.
So, like, there's this whole long scene. Multi-armed guy dies.
Oh! Is he holding on with multiple arms?
No, he gets shot and then just dies in the cockpit.
Each of his arms get, and then he goes, oh!
Meanwhile, because they've fallen behind, they can't take out the droids that have, like, come to attack.
Like the guards?
Yeah, the guard droids. So the woman is like trying to shoot them all, but then she didn't get all of them because they knocked her gun away. So like there's a couple that have just like got her pinned against this thing.
Oh.
And she's on this bridge that she's supposed to take out, but if she takes it out, then she's also going to die. She blows herself up.
Just for this fucking heist?
Thank you. Her choice. Bad choice.
What is with the Star Wars story of women committing suicide for men?
Thank you.
What is this?
I don't know. It's a great question.
We need this to stop. Was it like, oh, if I don't do this, they'll all defo die?
Maybe?
Don't care for it.
Unclear. I agree. I didn't care for it. She's now dead.
Yeah.
So the only one left of the crew is
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. So they like have everything all ready to go. Chewie,
Is he like, no?
Yes, he's like, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And then she does it, and she's like, no. It's like there was like some emotion, but then he's over it real quick. Like real quick. They got their shipping container, they're on it, like it's connected to the ship.
Yeah.
But wait, what? It's also connected to the pirates' ships. But they're like driving towards this mountain, and they're like, what are we gonna do? And he's like, Woody Harrelson's like, just keep driving towards the mountain, they'll let go. And then...
So they're playing chicken with a mountain?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And
But Han's like, I'm a great
with a
pilot.
storage unit filled with incredibly explosive...
With like hydrogen.
Yeah, Han is like, no, fuck this, we're too close, I'm letting go. And he's like, no! And then he does.
So she really died for nothing.
Yes.
Great.
So then he gets really pissed, right? So then the pirates fly directly into the mountain, which then explodes.
With all the stuff.
Yes.
So it's really for naught.
Really for naught. Like,
Whoa.
it all just explodes. Then Woody Harrelson's like, that wasn't just for us to sell. That was working for the Crimson Guard or whoever the fuck they're called. It was a job that he was like beholden to this other guy. So then,
you mean there was a bounty on his head?
Crazy.
Did he owe his debt to Jabba the Hutt?
No.
Boba Fett?
No. It was actually
Does Boba Fett show up?
No.
Restraint.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Who's in the new one? The British dude?
Which new one?
The newest ones.
Domhnall Gleeson?
Yeah. It's kind of like a Domhnall Gleeson type guy.
Okay.
He doesn't have a helmet.
His
but
little hat.
He has like an outfit and scars and a real temper tantrum. You know, rich, spoiled guy.
Classic Kylo Ren behavior.
Yep. So anyway, so the yacht shows up and like swoops them up and
What
he's
yacht?
like, the yacht that this guy has.
Oh.
Yacht, it's a spaceship, whatever, it doesn't matter.
So it's Jabba's floating space palace.
Basically. And it's like all fancy.
Does Jabba show up?
No.
Wow, restraint.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They're like, oh, look at all these people having fancy drinks, and there's like a stupid chanteuse with like a little alien chanteuse next to her. You know, very Star Warsy stuff, whatever.
Gotta have that.
Singing in French because...
You gotta have that cantina scene.
Exactly. Casablanca. I don't know. Woody Harrelson's like, I'm gonna go whatever.
Cry for
Don't talk to
the
anyone.
death of
Thank
my
you.
lover?
Thank you. Thank you.
And possibly my best friend, multi-arms guy?
Thank you. He's walking around, lo and behold, someone taps him on the shoulder.
Does Amelia Clark show up?
It's Amelia Clark in a fabulous gown, just like, oh, it's not that fabulous actually. But you know, she's supposed to look, oh God, look at me, I'm glamorous now.
But you can't see anything.
Oh,
It's just garbage.
it's just slightly crazy. This one was
Foggy.
This was better. This was better.
General Fog.
Yeah.
General Fog.
So then they get brought in to talk to Domhnall Gleeson
Guy.
wannabe. He's like, well, you owed me 100,000
But
stardust thingies.
Why does Han give a shit about this?
Because Han got roped in. Well, so Han still wants to get money to get a ship to go back to Amelia Clark.
But hey,
now
there
he
she
sees
is.
Amelia Clark, but he needs to now get her free from this enslavement of that she's in, right?
Okay.
So he's like, okay,
She can't save herself.
No.
Surely not.
no, she's a woman.
She can only kill herself for him. It's her only power.
Domhnall Gleeson guy,
Who is it?
I have no idea who it is.
We're gonna look it up.
Yep. Sorry.
No idea.
Generic white,
Nope,
probably
out.
British guy.
Probably British.
So he's like, well, look, you owe me all this shit, so either I'm going to kill you or... And they're like, but wait, what if we get some more? So they hatch this whole plan where they're going to go get this unrefined stardust and then take it to a different planet as fast as they can in order to... Because before it self-destructs and explodes, in order to have it refined into refined stardust.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, great. You guys go do that then and take Amelia Clark with you. Not sure why.
Because the script told them to.
Yep.
So how far in are we at? Are we at an hour yet? We have to be at an hour.
At this point, I think we have to be at an hour.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, at least this is at least halfway through. So, well, maybe.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, a lot happens in this movie. Then they have to go find a ship. Then it has to be fast because they have to make it, before it self-destructs.
In 12 parsecs.
Well,
They have to make that Kessel Run.
so she's like, oh, well, I know this guy, Lando. So now we're introduced to Lando. He's a real flamboyant, likes to dress crazy.
What was that question you asked me earlier?
I don't really remember him. And now, I'm just going to be honest. I've seen A New Hope a million times.
He's not in that.
Exactly. And I have only seen Empire and Return of the Jedi, like, a handful of times.
How did you miss the one black character in the movies, Andrew? How could you forget?
I mean, I don't know. I just don't remember, like, his integral part into this.
So, in Empire, they show up at Cloud City.
Right.
And Lando, Billy D. Williams.
Hello, what have we here?
He's all, like, coming on to Leia. And he's the one, we find out Han and him have this past.
Right.
Vader got there before them. Remember, they go into the big dining room and they're like, you betrayed us to Vader! And he's like, that's the only way they'd leave Cloud City! Ah! And then that's why Han gets frozen in carbonite. I love you, I know. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And then Lando then helps them in Jedi to get the this palace, to get them out. He's wearing that mask, that weird, like, bone sideways hat. Anyway.
I think they have that mask in this movie. But he doesn't wear it. Woody Harrelson wears it.
Okay. Did they steal it from him?
Probably.
And he kept it for 20 years to then later when they have to save Han.
Well, he has like a whole
Jabba's
wardrobe.
palace.
There's like a whole thing about he's like very flamboyant and whatever. But like in a meh way.
Well, wasn't there that whole internet thing about how Donald Glover was like, oh, Lando's pansexual.
Yes.
Right? Which
Yes.
seems like a publicity stunt.
It did. It did.
I mean,
it felt like
an afterthought.
it's like no, we're not like stereotyping gay people. He's pansexual. It's great, and you're like, okay. It was kind of like if you mixed like the Dos Equis Most Incredible Man in the World with like Richard Simmons. Like that's where you land up. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Where it's like lots of scarves and capes and like colors and like. Oh yes, I'm very like, whoo! And then it's also, but I'm also the most incredible man in the world. It's like, it was a weird
you
vibe.
turned into Arnie from Pete and Pete. Strongest man in the world.
Bertie, the strongest man in the world.
So I didn't know how I felt about it.
Okay.
Anyway, Emilia Clarke convinces him to lend them his ship.
Have they like resolved their feelings for each other? Has Han been like, yo, I've been searching for you forever?
Well, they haven't had a lot of time.
Still, like,
they did have that conversation. He's like, I've been searching for you to try and save you. And she's like, it's cool, dude. And he doesn't seem to get the message. You can tell that she's like not into it, but he doesn't see that.
I'm cool. You're not Harrison Ford. It's fine.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
So they all set off on this mission. Then we get on board and we're introduced to...
Do they play virtual chess?
Yes.
They do.
Yep. And we're introduced to L3, I think her name was.
It's a robot?
Yep.
Okay.
But like a real sassy robot. Real sassy, like, oh, I'm gonna like try and free you. I want equal rights. And there was like this whole thing about like...
It was like a PC robot?
Yeah.
I'm
like
sentient and I'm not a helpful robot at all, which is really my only purpose.
Well, she was helpful. She was helpful, but also not helpful. What are you gonna do? Wipe my memory? And he's like, I would wipe her memory, except that like she has the best navigational map of the entire universe in her. So I don't want to lose that.
They're all like, she's clearly annoying and we dislike her, but we can't reboot her because she's got information.
A little bit, but it's also like he also loves her, and then there's like this whole weird thing where like she has this the robot has a conversation with Emilia Clarke where she's like, clearly Han's in love with you, but based on the brand, so what's his face, not Domhnall Gleeson, has like branded her with his like circle thing logo of the Crimson Circle. Maybe that's what it's called. I think that might be what it's called. The red circle. Crimson circle? Something like that. So she's like, so what are you going to do about him being in love with you? And she's like, ugh. And then she's like, see, it's kind of like me, like Lando's in love with me, but like I'm just like not feeling that way about him. And you're like, what is this conversation?
Wait, what? So pansexual includes robots, apparently. Okay.
So they finally make their way to this like mining planet where they're mining the stardust or whatever.
What's Woody Harrelson been doing? Getting drunk? Playing digital chess?
Yep.
God damn it.
So they get to this mining planet, and then they have this whole plan where they're like, "Oh, you guys are slaves."
A second heist.
But then you're not actually slaves. And
Did they put fake handcuffs
Yep.
on Chewbacca?
And Han?
And then he breaks out of them,
Yep.
and everyone's like, "Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, good. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Great. It writes itself
Yep.
because it's the same.
So they're on this mining planet, and they like have this whole ruse and whatever, and then the robot is like hacking into the systems or whatever, and she's like asking this other robot to like get out the way. She's like, hey, get out the way. And it like doesn't respond. She's like, oh, goddamn blocking chips or whatever, and she takes this chip off, and she's like, get out the way. And she's like, what am I supposed to do? And she's like, whatever you want, be free, go free other people. So then this other robot goes and starts like taking the chips off of all of these other robots, and then all of the other robots start rebelling. And they're like, fuck all of these, everyone should have freedom. So then they free all of these slaves in this mining complex.
Inadvertently, though. It just happened.
Meanwhile, that was not part of the plan. That was not part of the plan.
Just because, you know.
Exactly. So while they're going to try and steal all of these canisters of Stardust,
they've started a union riot.
They've started a riot.
And then
Chewie,
there's a Sally Field robot.
Union!
I'd like that.
I love that. Just like a little Easter egg.
A robot that just is holding a union sign, not mad.
So at a certain point, Chewie sees a bunch of other Wookiees and is like, I have to go help them. So Chewie leaves and goes and saves all of his Wookiee friends, while Han goes to like collect all of the volatile Stardust.
Why have Han and Chewie bonded so much?
Because they got each other out of a pickle and they saved each other's lives from, eternal monsterdom and death.
That's it?
Basically.
Okay.
They've formed a friendship. I don't know, whatever. I would have actually liked a little bit more of that.
Yeah, make the whole movie about that.
One less heist, certainly lose the whole first act, and then
have a scene
exactly
of montaged over the credits. Oh, Amelia Clarke, I love you. Oh, I love you too. The door closed. No. 3 years later.
Yeah.
You could do it in 5 minutes.
Oh, and how great would that have been?
Not even 3 minutes.
Have him like pressed up against the glass
like
with his
in the
hands.
exact pose.
Yes.
And then I could just walk out of the theater. Just throw my popcorn in the air. Walk out of the theater and demand my money back.
Now, Han finally has this little, dolly loaded up with all of the volatile shit, and then Chewie shows back up just in the nick of time to help save him from all of the crazy guards with all of his Wookiee friends.
Of course.
And they're like all on their way out. Oh my god, everyone run away. And then meanwhile...
They're all riding little ponies.
He's like pushing the cart or whatever.
Run away! Like a mine cart?
Basically.
And then do they get in it?
No.
There's like water.
I was waiting for that.
And then Short Round is like, hi!
And then the robot is like, goes back or does something or whatever. It's like, freedom! And then she gets blown up.
Is Lando like, no!
Yes. And then runs out to go pick up the body.
No, I know.
And it's like, no, I'm free.
No.
And then she's like, Lando.
Wait,
he's like, no.
This did not happen in this movie.
Yep.
And you like this movie? This is nonsense. No. Ugh, I need to like go to a safe place and just think of Harrison Ford for a while.
Oh my god, yes. So they all get on the ship and they like break away, right? They brought back the corpse of this robot who then like dies. And you're like, it's a robot.
Like sparking and like
Oh, it's like Lando, what's happening? And then and you're like, this is nonsense. Got more emotion from Lando than from fucking Woody Harrelson after his girlfriend and buddy died. So they're like, okay, we gotta get out of here. So then they're like, we're on our way back to
before the shit explodes.
Exactly. But what? Oh no, it's a Imperial
pirates.
fighter.
Oh, like
Isn't that
a Star Destroyer?
A Star Destroyer. So they're like, wow, we're gonna get out of here. There's no way. And then he's like,
we must go to ludicrous speed.
well, he's like, no, we gotta.
We've gone to plaid.
Full plaid. No, he's like, we gotta go through the nebula.
Oh, so he's gonna fly through the asteroid field again? God damn it. Do they run into some giant worms? Shut up right now, I cannot!
It's a giant octopus.
Fuck!
that they trick into the gravitational wormhole.
What, they're gonna, the octopus is gonna like plug it or something?
No. They have Woody Harrelson go take some of the volatile star juice
and be like,
and stick it into the turbo boost so that it blasts them right through the closing wall.
As the octopus dies.
Yes.
Han really has it out for these aquatic creatures.
Well, it was an octopus in the middle of space, so that was unclear of how that being
was
existed.
breathing?
Yeah, but
Was there water anywhere? I mean, was it like...
Well, there were like, it was a nebula of like cloud
So no.
gas dust, so maybe it lives off of gas.
So no.
They set that up really poorly where the robot is explaining like, oh, we have to go through this nebula.
I thought she
And
died.
This was before.
Oh.
They're on their way through the nebula the first time.
Lando,
There's a nebula with
go
a
through the
giant...
nebula.
Well, actually, yes. Actually, yes, because... Okay, well, so first
She
she's
get
telling...
downloaded to the ship? Stop it right now! No!
But this was actually the part that I kind of liked.
She's like, Lando, I'm here. I'm here.
No, she's not like... She doesn't like smart house it through the... No.
Does she like Morse code them?
This isn't Interstellar either, no. No, but so he's like, how are we gonna know how to get through this crazy nebula? Like we
don't have her
we don't have
her
L3's
nap
amazing
sister.
nebula. And they're like, what if we uploaded her into the ship's mainframe? And they're like, that could work. How would we do it? There's only one way to find out.
They've got a lot of time.
Right.
While they're being chased
Well,
by...
chased by the TIE fighters, and Woody Harrelson's like trying to shoot them down, and they have a whole thing. It's like a whole chase scene, whatever. But so they upload her. But what I kind of liked about this was that because they set her up as like such a sassy robot, the Millennium Falcon I feel like has always been kind of like
Sassy?
and like it's like
A bit of a bitch?
well, like a mind of her own, you know? Yeah, it's like, oh, it's the Millennium Falcon. She's like this weird enigma. So I liked the idea that it was like,
Sure.
oh,
I always
that's
took
where
that was Hans flying, but okay.
yeah, I liked that it was like, oh, let's incorporate this sassy bitch into the ship.
Great.
But it was still cheesy.
I mean, I'm still not over the fact that Lando was crying over a dead robot that he was in love with. They did him dirty.
When you put it that way.
Lando can have his own now movie, just Lando, where it's him and her.
Uploaded into the...
Yep. That's his sequel.
And they jump to light speed and they land just in time before the stuff explodes. They unpack it.
Great.
And they're, having
Their little handcart.
these little people convert it into refined moon juice. I
Are
don't
they
know.
slaves?
Ish.
Great.
Unclear. Impoverished nation with a thatched beach.
Oh, like a palapa?
It's like a big palapa bar on the beach. That was confusing.
Is it like from Valerian? They're gonna convert it with like a pearl shitting lizard?
Oh my god, could you imagine if they just fed it to a pearl shitting lizard? And it was like, here's your vial of moon juice. So stupid. We don't really know what
Lando
happened.
would be all about those pearl facials.
Absolutely. Oh my god, there's so much left.
I can't believe there's more!
Okay. We're gonna count through it.
Quick fire.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
the pirate people show up again. So we're like, wait, weren't they exploded?
Right.
They like track them and they're like, haha, we're here, we gotcha. And then reveal
Yeah.
that it's not the original pirate, but her daughter.
So it's revenge!
Yeah, well, kind of. Turns out that they weren't pirates per se, but like rebels. And, they realized that there were all of these slaves that were being forced to create this moon juice for the Empire.
Boy.
And so they were like, no, we're going to fight back. So Han is like, we can't give all of this moon juice to the Red Circle people. We have to give it to her so that they can do whatever the good people do. And I'm kind of like, first off, you don't really know anything that she said. Like, she could just be yanking your chain.
Right.
But whatever, fine. It's a sweet story.
He's got a soft spot for ladies, but not squid monsters.
And then Woody Harrelson's like, nah, man, I'm sorry. I'm walking away. I'm just running away. Either you work with the pirates to, like, fuck up Red Circle British dude, or you run the fuck away,
Right.
which is what he's going to do. Han and Amelia Clark go up, and they're like, hey, Domhnall Gleeson. And they get up there and whatever, and he's like, look, here's the stuff. And not Domhnall Gleeson is like, ha ha, this is really great fake shit. You really had me going for a second. My colleague informed me into your plan. And he's like, Amelia, why would you do that?
Amelia!
And he's like,
Emilio!
and he's like, no, not that colleague. And then door opens. Woody Harrelson. So the pirates are loading all of the containers of the moon juice onto their
The real stuff.
bikes. What? Or is it?
It's a double, triple fake.
Yes. So
This
he's
sounds
like
Atomic Blonde and I'm tired.
a little bit. So then Woody Harrelson's like, you should listen to me, Han. I told you that you can't trust anyone. And he's like, I did listen to you when you said people are predictable. Ha. And so they were like empty. And then he's like, and this is the real shit. But then Woody Harrelson's like, boo, 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 kills all the guards in the room, and then takes Chewie and leaves with all of the moon juice.
Takes Chewie.
He's like, you're coming with me. And he has them at gunpoint.
Chewie would take care of that situation.
I mean, you would think.
There can't be that much more left.
No, there's not a lot more.
This is exhausting.
No, yeah, this is almost it. So then Amelia Clarke and not Domhnall Gleeson have Han cornered with like...
Oh, because she's like shown her true bad self.
Well, she has like a big old sword, right? And she's like...
I'm...
This is where she says... No, this is where she says, this is what they taught us to know what men want, to use it, right? Because I'm your biggest weakness. And then she turns around and stabs Domhnall Gleeson.
Oh!
Which I was like, okay, we already saw this in The Last Jedi, but great.
She's like, sorry, I had to pretend to be bad.
Exactly.
I still love you.
Yeah.
But I don't.
So... Oh boy.
Because I'm in love with Woody Harrelson and they make out. Now that I would be here for.
I would be here for that, but that's not what happens.
Wouldn't that be great if he just walks in?
It gets a lot worse.
And then they just start like hardcore making out. That would be so good.
That would be really good.
And then you'd be like, oh, it makes sense why you didn't care why that other bitch died.
Yeah. But no, that's not it at all.
Okay.
She's like, you gotta go get Woody Harrelson before he takes off with all the moon juice.
Is it called moon juice?
No, I don't remember what it was called.
Just checking.
No. It's called like iridium or some stupid thing. I don't know.
Unobtainium?
Base, whatever. Hyperfluid. Hyperfuel. This is nonsense. So she's like, you gotta go get him. He's like, but what are you gonna do? She's like, I have to get some payment for us to get our ship. And she gestures to all of these jewels, right? And in your head, you're like, but like literally just shove them in your bag and run. Like, what? Then it cuts to her grabbing the circle. He had like a circle ring that he branded her with that also is like the key to the
Has
communication
cocaine in it?
deck. Well, probably. Definitely.
Full of cocaine?
Full of it. Definitely. Defo. But so she like opens the communications thing.
Does she bow down to like the emperor or something?
Worse.
Stop. What could be worse? Snook? Or he's not alive yet. Or is he? I don't know about Snook.
No, I don't know about him. Earlier. All the way to episode 1.
What?
He's red and black.
Darth Maul? What? Wait. But he
Died in episode 1 when Anakin was a child.
was cut in half.
Yep.
Wasn't he? Didn't he like go like, ah,
Yep.
like down the shaft?
Yep. In episode 1
Two
when
different-
Anakin was 8 years old.
Like cut in half.
Yeah. So, again,
So does they?
confused about the
does he-
timing.
Wait, what? Ah! Does he lift up his shirt and it's like? He was cut in half.
And then fell down a fucking 1,000-foot chute. I know.
Is he like a race of people or is it like defo Darth Maul?
No, it's like pretty defo Darth Maul.
That's a bunch of goddamn nonsense.
So I was just like, I am so fucking...
Is he
so
eternal?
Or is Han Solo now 25 years older than Leia? At least 15 years, right?
Anakin was like, what?
9?
Conservatively 10.
Sure.
For math's sake.
And
10
then-
in Phantom Menace. And then by the time the children were born, at least 20. Right?
I would hope at least 20. It has to be at least 18.
Right? Because she was like an adult.
It's weird. Those movies. Oh boy. But so then we're led to believe
Right. So
that
then that
Han...
means that regardless of the fact that Darth Maul was utterly cut in half and died,
Well, this would have to then
then
take place
be-
10 years before Leia
was
was born. Which means that he's a full 30 years older than Leia?
That's just not true. I mean, he is older, but that's not bad. No.
So I was so confused!
Maybe it's just another person who looks like the devil in Insidious.
I mean, I don't know. I should have looked this up. I didn't even think about it until now. But it, like, makes no sense. So anyway, so she gets on this console and she's like, oh, he's dead.
Does he speak?
Yes.
Because did he speak in the prequel? I feel like
A
he
little
didn't
bit.
speak.
He makes, like, he
I
has,
feel
like,
he was
5
like,
lines.
yes, master.
Yeah, basically.
That was it, right?
Basically.
Does he have the double lightsaber?
Yes!
Is he like, drum,
Yeah.
drum?
Literally, yes! And you're like, why? In his phone call, Skype, whatever call with her.
He's gotta, like,
she's like, what's his face is dead.
It's purely for the fans. It's the movie, like,
No one asked for
reaching
it.
out to you going, remember Darth Maul and his double lightsaber?
I was trying not to.
Yeah, we all tried to block that out.
So she's like, yeah, not Domhnall Gleeson's dead and Woody Harrelson killed him. Lies. I don't know, I wasn't there. Because she wants to take over, I guess.
So now she's like under the ruling of a Sith Lord?
Yes, as the
Okay.
head of this super rich
Crime syndicate?
crime syndicate, the Dark Red Circle. I don't know. She's surfing the Crimson Wave, Avaryl. I don't know. Then Han catches up with Woody Harrelson and Chewie.
Of course.
And he's like,
And Chewie's still
gotta
like,
stop you, bud. And he's like, let me give you one last life lesson. And then Han
like,
just,
"Ka-chow!"
and then Han just shoots him. And he's like, oh my god, I was gonna kill you. And he's like, I like that they had to have this just so that we
He
didn't.
said that?
Yes.
No!
Yes.
You're making this up!
No.
Does he go, I was gonna kill you, but now you know the life lesson. You always shoot first.
No, he doesn't say that specifically.
In a period of time, you'll be in a bar, and there'll be a green alien. And I'll tell you now, you must shoot first.
And then he gives all of the moon juice back to the not pirate girl who's trying to save, and she's like, what is this gonna do now? And she's like, do you know what this is? And he goes, it's a bunch of moon juice. And
They're like, no, it's
and
the
she says,
souls
she
of the...
says,
Stop.
she says, no, it's the blood of new life for a rebellion.
Stop it.
And you're just like, oh my god, I can't with this movie.
What does he think is going on with Amelia Clark at this point? She's still getting
Well, so he
jewels?
sees her take the big ship, runs away, and he's like, oh fuck, she betrayed me. And then he and Chewie just go off, and then cut to, they're in a forest, and we see Lando. They're in another poker room. You know, oh, Lando, what the fuck, you know, something like that.
Oh, they meet up again.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking tear your arm off. You left us, you know.
Oh, I hope he says that, actually.
Literally did.
I'm gonna fucking tear your arm
No,
off.
he did not use fucking, no. He said, I'm gonna tear your arms off.
I'm gonna fucking tear your arms off!
Basically. So then he grabs the card out of the cheat arm,
Uh-huh.
plays him for a rematch at poker, bets the ship, and then he loses the Millennium Falcon, and then he's like in it with Chewie, and they're like,
So,
I heard there was a
Lando-
place on Tatooine.
Stop, I can't. Looks like we gotta go to Mos Eisley's.
Oh my god.
Oh, why? Just cause?
That was Woody Harrelson's last job. He said, I'm going to do one last job. There's this big mob boss on Tatooine, and I'm going to get the fuck out of here and go back home to my farm, basically.
So does it take like 10 years to get there? Cause like the age gap.
The age gap is apparently 40 years. I'm so confused. The
Is
Darth
he,
Maul
like-
thing really throws it off.
Whoa!
Because you're like
what happened
we
to
saw him die. Cut in half.
There's no coming back from that.
No.
What if it was Qui-Gon Jinn? What if it was Jar Jar?
Shut up. Jar Jar Binks was running this whole crime syndicate. Shut up.
But like on the video call, he's just like.
It's like this idiot
like-
savant, just like
He's like,
Misa thinks.
Misa give you the keys. But he's like dressed in black and he's emo now. And then he pulls out the double lightsaber.
Oh, right. So on the call, fucking Darth Maul, she's like talking to him. She's like, he's dead now or whatever. And then he just like forces over a lightsaber, and you're like, what's happening?
Does he like threaten someone?
There's no one there. You're on Skype, dude.
There's no one like in the room with him.
No,
Like-
there's no imminent threat.
Like, oh, let me just threaten this.
Are you gonna like lightsaber her through the Skype call?
But why?
What's going on?
He likes her, right?
I don't
He's
know.
giving her the company, right?
It literally didn't make any sense.
This sounds horrible. I'm glad I didn't see it.
Now that we talk about
I
it,
would be
I certainly
angry.
am like, this was a much worse movie
Well,
than
it seems like it's popcorn.
Yes.
It's light.
Yes.
And if you don't think about it too hard, and if you don't have if you're not full of feelings about
Right.
it already, like you'll probably be like, oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
There was heists.
And there's certainly, like, that was where I was really most angry. I was just like, if this had just been a story of literally any other character
Right.
in this universe,
I probably would have seen it.
I would have been on board. That's all that I want.
I want a space adventure.
Yeah, I love
Cool.
like exactly. And it's like I'm on board with like every 3 to 4 years, like a Bond movie, there's like a big Star Wars movie, right? Where it's like the main characters of Star Wars, which has now been different and whatever, but like fine. Give me one of those every few years. And then give me like off-brand a Star Wars story.
Yeah. That's just like
No more than once a year.
that's like the novellas that
Exactly.
you read in junior high.
Exactly.
Well, I'm certainly glad I didn't see it.
Yeah, I think you would have been
I
real
would have
pissed.
been very angry.
I think so. So you could pop a bottle of rosé and watch it on Netflix, and it'll be fine.
Or you could not.
Or if you, certainly if you're,
And you can
if
watch
you're
the
very much
originals.
invested,
Just
well,
watch the
definitely watch
originals.
the originals.
Just go for that.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I love you.
I know.